How do we survive and recover from the COVID-19 pandemic? Treasurer Josh Frydenberg is with us now. Treasurer, thanks for your time. As we just saw there, seniors are leaving the supermarket once again empty-handed right now. People, they're afraid, aren't they?
Well, people are understandably anxious because we're living in unprecedented times. And I spoke to the heads of Woolworths and Coles last night and talked to them about the need to get more security into their stores. But also, we need to assure the Australian public that there is no need for panic buying. That's what the medical experts have said. People need food for a few days, not for a few weeks. Australia is a country that produces enough food for 75 million people, yet we're a population of 25 million people. We make our own toilet paper. People will not run out of these products.
Yeah, but whatever we're doing, Treasurer, it's not working. It's whatever we're doing and whatever that message which we keep pushing every day, it is not working because people aren't listening.
Well, again, everyone has a responsibility here, from the media to the politicians, to industry, and to the public themselves. This is a Team Australia moment. We need to get together. We don't know how long the coronavirus will continue to spread. The Prime Minister's prepared the nation by saying at least 6 months, but not even the medical experts can put a definitive date on it. And, you know, to paraphrase Winston Churchill, this very much feels not like the beginning of the end, but merely the end of the beginning.
There's a disconnect here, though, Josh. And look, I know, I mean, you are all working so incredibly hard at the moment, but it's just everyday people who are going to their shops, and they're hearing all the messages. There's no one who's not hearing that message. But they go to their shops and they're not seeing the everyday suppliers. And they're going, well, hang on a second, maybe there's something here I should be prepared for, and maybe there isn't enough, and maybe everyone else is doing it, so I've got to do it. It's like a group mentality. And so you can have a go at them, but it's just us. It's everyday people. We're all doing it.
Well, I'm not having a go at anyone. What I'm saying is that everybody has to respect each other, and we need to listen to the experts. That's the key point here, Karl.
Yeah.
And the medical experts are saying that people should not engage in panic buying. And from the Prime Minister down, and from including the state premiers who are coordinated through this unprecedented national cabinet, the message is very, very clear. Yeah. There is no need for panic buying.
Well, Treasurer, I mean, people are desperate right now. People are already losing their jobs. What does this second stimulus package look like? How big is it going to be, and when will it kick in?
It's going to be very substantial. It will complement the first stimulus package, and it will also complement the measures yesterday from the Reserve Bank and the Australian government that saw more than $100 billion injected into our financial system. It will be focused on cushioning the blow for those Australians who may have lost their job, but also supporting small businesses, because we want them to be able to meet the fixed costs, whether that's their rent, that's their energy bills, their water bills, or indeed their wages bills, which will continue to need to be paid even though customers are not coming through the door. There will be the other side to this, and we are building that bridge to recovery.
There are so many elements of the Australian economy that will be impacted on, as you know only too well. What do you say to the self-employed small business owner who just has no customers, or customers who have very little to spend? The casual worker who's just lost shifts because the shifts have dried up. How are they going to pay the rent? How are they going to pay their mortgages? How are they going to get through this next period?
Well, we're working on measures to support them and other members of the 25 million strong Australian community. But we will get to the other side, and the government will do what it takes, together with the other key stakeholders across business and at the state level, to ensure that we support Aussie jobs and Aussie businesses. I'd say to those casual workers, I'd say to those sole traders, they are not alone. The government stands with them, just as other governments are standing with their publics, because this is a global pandemic. This is something we've never seen before on this scale, and of course we are putting the safety and the interests of Australians first.
So we've seen over the last couple of days, you know, the banks, they are sending the right messages, but how do you make sure that they don't foreclose on people who can't afford their repayments? Because we know that is going to happen.
Well, today the banks will be making an announcement about a series of measures to provide relief to their customers, because there's actually an alignment of interest here between the banks and the small businesses and their other customers. They want them to get to the other side. Healthy banks have healthy customers, and so everyone is in this together, and I think the banks will be making a very important announcement, just like the energy retailers need to do, just like those who run the shopping centres. Everyone needs to chip in here and understand the predicament that their customers find themselves in through no fault of their own.
I don't think that there are certain words that aren't helpful, but words that are being thrown around at the moment. Recession, I mean, obviously, we're obviously in the middle of something like that at the moment, and even further to that, depression. Can you reassure the Australian public that we're going to be okay through that, and how do you do that?
Well, I can reassure the Australian public that we have approached this health crisis with its very significant economic impact from a position of strength, Karl. Just yesterday, the unemployment numbers were released for the month of February. It showed that unemployment fell to 5.1% and more than 26,000 new jobs were created. So we have balanced the books. We delivered the first balanced budget in 11 years. That means we now have the financial firepower to spend when the country needs it. And we are spending and will continue to spend, and we are working with the Reserve Bank and the other key players to ensure Australians get the support that they need. There is a bridge to recovery. There is the other side of this, and we will get there.
Okay. Treasurer, thank you so much for your time this morning.
Good to be with
Still to
you.
come on today.